Hey everybody, my name is Russ. That is Lauren. Welcome to our Saturday reaction video. Today is a very fun one because I, for as long as I've been a Michael Jackson fan and having seen him only once ever in concert on the Bad Tour, having a large chunk of our videos on this channel cover various aspects of MJ, including other reactions, have never seen this performance.
What?
I know. Well, many people over the years have always told me Yokohama 87 is like prime MJ. And I've always kind of just held out hope that at like some point, because people say there's varying degrees to believe of like there's supposedly higher quality footage of this out there and we haven't seen it yet, whatever. So I've kind of held off for the years and just been like, well, like maybe someday we're going to get like film quality or something of it. So anyways, I have never seen any of the Yokohama 87 show, but every time great performances from MJ come up, like people end up arguing over this and like 2 or 3 other performances. Like this show is in with like what people always say is the best. So I figured why not start with Billie Jean? Again, of course, if I haven't seen it, she hasn't seen it. We're going to watch this.
I was there.
We're going to let it play through and just kind of natural react as it happens. But please stay after the song because that's where all of the discussion of anything we notice is going to happen. So here we go.
She don't mind, but do you make I am the one? She said I am the one. You told me her name is Billie Jean, and they got me singing. Head I could dream of being the one. My door aside, moving there with the man hurt me nevertheless. So bring my strong advice. Just remember to always think twice. Don't think twice. Oh my baby, then the thing that you looked at me. Throw the photo of a baby right as I put like mine.
Make sure it's on.
It's got a point to do. Well, that was great. I'm going to get the negative out of the way real quick. I've never liked Sheryl Crow in the first place. I especially don't like how the wind blows with whoever's paying her to say whatever about Michael Jackson. And anything bad I've ever said about her vocals, I rest my case.
Oh my God. First of all, unnecessary.
Right.
Unnecessary. And she doesn't even look happy to be doing it.
I know. Okay.
But that aside,
all positive.
that aside, while we're on the differences in the vocal arrangement of this, I thought the gentleman background singers really added layers to this that I really, really enjoyed, especially when Michael was dancing, to get that, like, because you're used to Billie Jean being right there, but you get like a bit like that down, like, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
There were a couple of things that on the record, Michael does a who, and he did like a low thing. And there's this unnecessary debate on the internet about whether or not Michael Jackson actually had a deep voice or not. All you got to do is go back and look at that. Like, that's the dude hits like a who lower than I could, Who? Yeah, I mean, it's like full throated and raspy. At both times it happened, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he who? He?
Well done.
Thank you.
As far as the performance goes, I mean, it's just I say this every time we do an MJ. There's nobody like him. Like, there's nobody that can perform anywhere near that level. And then there's one other thing I want to mention, the thing with the glove where you said he did. I've seen him do that in a couple of different performances.
Gotta make sure it's
but this
on.
is minor, but I wanted to show you. I was just telling you the other day about how the glove he performed with, inside of it didn't have the right, and you can see it on that one where he's holding the mic. You can see, because like it would be impossible.
If it did, you'd hear it.
Yeah, you'd hear it, and it would be impossible to even hold whatever. But I like that you can actually kind of see that stuff. But like he just looks like so into it.
It's just like really comfortable. You can tell he's having fun. And the couple of times where he multiplied himself, I thought that was like really impressive.
So
I get it now.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I would have forgot. So I mean, it was the 80s, and I know people.
I know.
No. And I know people did stuff. I wasn't wild about it at first, but I really liked the one at the end where it had like him and then his upper body and lower body. Because it's like when you're trying to watch Michael Jackson, there's
Where do you
so
look?
much going on. Yeah. Like even the way he sets up the moonwalk a lot of times is like a sleight of hand trick. Like he's doing things with his hand, so you're not watching when he starts moving backwards, which is literally a magic
It's magic,
trick.
yeah.
And the other thing too that I wanted to mention is, he's done this in almost every version of Billie Jean I can think of. I love when he, more or less asks his hat to dance. Yeah. Like he always picks it up and like addresses it as a dancing partner. And I think that's so brilliant.
Dust it off a little bit.
Yeah,
Make sure it's okay.
And he always like holds it in reverence. Like he always is like, I just think that's like when I say there's no one else like him, like of course the moonwalk and all that stuff and whatever, but like there's no one else that performs that thinks of things like that. Like people are just like, like, oh, look at me in all my glory, where he's like, my hat, this inanimate object, like it matters to me to like greet it and bring it into the presentation. That's just amazing. So, that was literally the first time I've ever seen any footage from Yokohama. I've seen Wembley a million times, and Bucharest and all sorts of other things. So I thought, well, why not just start with Billie Jean if I'm going to watch it?
I loved the fans too. Like every time they kind of clipped over, like because you don't know, and like just the happiness of like the wide swaths of people, like the little girl in the Pepsi shirt to like the businessman with the white collar button up shirt on, just like they're all just going. I'm like, I love it.
We've talked about this before too. I'm really glad you mentioned that too, because jokes aside about like the fainting and all that stuff, when you watch an MJ performance from any country in any era, people are just happy. Like they're happy to be there. They're happy to see him. They're happy to like be a part of that positivity. Like that, like the Japanese, and this is coming from a very ignorant American standpoint. So like, just take this from things I've heard, are a very reserved people. Like if you listen, a lot of artists used to record live records in Japan because they were very respectful and weren't screaming through the songs and all that stuff. And like, not when Michael's on stage. Like when Michael's on stage, they're like, I bet that's the one you said, like the business looking. That's probably the most he ever let loose in his entire life.
Probably.
And I say that with sincerity. I don't say that to make fun of them or their culture or him. I say that like, that's how much that moved him.
For sure. And like, I'm the one of us sitting here who never saw Michael, but we did recently see the MJ musical. And so that's part of my experience in experiencing anything Michael related in a live setting. And like, if seeing him in person is like, if what I experienced is like 10% of that, then like, holy crap, you know what I mean? Like, I had an absolute ball.
Yeah.
Like I barely remember half of it because I was just like, you know,
there was so much awesome.
So what I'm getting at is like, I understand it. Like I haven't, but you know,
speaking of which, not to plug our own content, but we did do a video on the channel a month or so back of our review of us having seen the MJ musical. So if you're new to the channel, go back and check that out. If you're a Michael Jackson fan and you have been on the channel for a little bit, usually our MJ content is like Saturday reactions and stuff, so you may have missed it. But just go to the search bar and just type in like Michael Jackson. It'll come up with everything. It should be the last video we did on him before this one, but it'll be from a couple months back. So we always take suggestions too. So if there's other stuff you want us to do, reactions to regarding MJ, we will do our best to get all of it. Search the channel first though, because we've done enough to where like we may have already reacted to something that you want us to. And we can't really do it twice. But
you don't know. No, we can't.
We're always open to suggestions for sure. Drop a like on the video. That helps the channel grow. That is Lauren. I am Russ. Thank you so much for watching.